Okay, so we're recording.
You want to mute all?
Yeah, I'm going to mute everybody out right now as well. Kauri, you'll probably have to unmute yourself. Perfect. Okay, so hello and welcome to the Monday Night Candy Crew team training. This is something that we do every Monday. For those of you that are just joining us, welcome. I'm really excited for tonight's training. It's February 1st. What a better way to get the month started than to roll out with momentum the way we did. We ended January very strong. I cannot believe the amount of upgrades that we had coming in, the amount of new distributors, and just the excitement, it's there. So I've asked Kauri Thompson, who is our upline. He is actually who introduced Travis, who is my sponsor, to APL Go. I have asked him to come on tonight because him and his beautiful wife, Jenny, just got back from Africa. They won the trip for our owner's birthday, and they went on a safari, and they just were able to experience the culture of APL Go. So before he gets into training, we've talked about a few things that I've asked him to go into tonight. Kauri Thompson, this is obviously the Candy Crew and the pop stars and whatever, Tony, your team is called. But I just wanted to say thank you for joining us tonight, and feel free to take it away.
All right, sir. Well, thank you for the invite. And I've got to admit, before we start, I'm a little jet lagged, and normally I don't get too jet lagged. Sometimes when I go east, it's easier than coming west. But we just had an amazing trip, and I'm going to share a couple of slides before we get into the actual training. I do want to acknowledge all of you who are on the call tonight, and I'm going to tell you, in the 23 years I've been involved in direct sales and network marketing, both as a corporate executive and as a top money earner, I have never seen a company like APL Go. And when I was first introduced to it, I had my doubts. But you know, some wonderful things happened, and I'll get into it in my presentation. But I just want to thank you, Sarah, for inviting me. I know you and Alicia do an amazing job. And just so you guys know, Alicia and Sarah were number 3 and 4 signed up in the company when we first started. So they came on really early and took a chance with us. And I'm going to tell you, they've seen what I've seen, which is amazing growth. And we are going to continue to grow. Why? Because the secret is getting out about APL Go. It's getting out there. I'm getting calls, more and more calls. And I'm so excited tonight to be able to share some things with you. So we're ready. With that being said, I'll share my screen and let me know if you can see it. Can you guys see that okay?
We can, yeah.
Okay, let me make it big. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to take this down a little bit. So again, welcome to tonight's call. I just got back from a 4-day adventure. This is the owner of our company, Sergey Kulikov. If you know anything about Sergey, he likes people. And for me, this is really important. When I first met him in May, I wanted to work with a company where the founder actually liked people, because believe it or not, even though this is a people business, there are a lot of owners of companies who don't really like people. They're introverts, or they're doing it purely for the money, and it shows in their culture and it shows in everything that they do. This person, Sergey, just turned 33 years old. So I want you to kind of think about that. A 33-year-old owner who likes to have fun, who likes people, a former distributor in an American company when he was 17 years old, built a team of 10,000 people, and he never lost the taste or desire to do this business. And so his story really quickly, 17 years old, he goes and builds a business. The company changes the comp plan. He goes into real estate. He made $6.5 million by the time he was 24, and he fulfills a lifelong dream when he finds the Cumulate SA technology and starts his company. A couple of quick pictures before I actually get into the meat of what we're doing. This trip was really special for a couple of different reasons. Usually when you go to a type of event with a company and other top leaders, it's usually some 5-star resort, which it was for a couple of days. We actually stayed on a reserve in Kenya. And if you've ever been to Kenya, I've never been there before. It's 4,800 square feet above sea level. In the middle of the afternoon, on a hot African afternoon in Kenya, it's like 81 degrees. It was absolutely beautiful. The Maasai people were there to greet us on the reserve on day 2. We spent the next 3 days living in a tent in the middle of reserve. And in order just to go to dinner or to go to the bathroom, we had to have an escort. One of the Maasai guys literally with a spear would walk with us to the bathroom or to dinner. Why? Because there were hyenas, lions, rhinos, everything was around us. And at night, if you've tried to sleep with noisy kids, could you imagine 20 noisy baboons about a half a mile away from you howling all night? I don't recommend it, but what an adventure it was. We had a lot of fun, and every year Sergey does this. For his birthday, he just invites not even top rank leaders, he just invites people that he really likes that are all in APO Go. This year, Travis and Summer got invited, Tina and Kelly got invited, Jenny and I got invited, and we were lucky because we were able to get our shots, our visas, immunizations, our paperwork all done within a 2-week period of time. So we were able to make the trip. And next year, I don't know where it's going to be, but we know it's going to be a lot of fun. So a little about myself really quickly. I am the USA Asia launch coordinator. I am also a distributor. And I took on this title, excuse me, to help Sergey move his company into the United States. And when I came on board, we had no marketing. Everything was in Russian. We didn't know how to tell the story. So I really looked through the science and we came up with a presentation that we now use today. And it's been a pleasure to work with Nancy and get that done and tell the first story in English about APO Go and the opportunity. I've had an opportunity to work all around the world. I've been in the business for a long time. My family's pictured in there. They've been very supportive of me. But one thing you need to know about me, I love this industry because if you do it right, guys, we are in for an incredible ride with a 32-year-old owner, 33-year-old owner now. And if you think about it, we're going to have an opportunity for many, many years to come. Okay, so into the presentation a little bit. Oh, this is more, I guess, more pictures. Did I cover this before? No. Okay. More about the African Golden People trip that we went on. There's actually a pin, and Sergey gave it to Jenny and I during the night of the Maasai tribal dinner. They were having lamb, and the Maasai were jumping on the fire. They got jump up and down and sing, which is really, really cool. But Sergey said, hey, man, I want to talk to you and Jenny. Can you come to my table? And at that table, he produced 2 beautiful pins with his personal emblem on it with a real diamond. And I know the real diamonds because Sergey only goes big. So we had this beautiful pin, and he said to me and Jenny, I only give these to people that I love and I trust. Welcome to the family. There've been 52 pins that have been given out in the last 9 years. And I know that some of you on this Zoom are going to be recipients of this pin, and you're going to wear them with pride. So I really look forward to a lot more people joining us. Now, Sarah sent me kind of an outline of what she wanted covered. So what I got out of it was this: getting the word out, approaching people. What do I lead with? Product or opportunity? And how do I drive people to my business? It's no secret that a lot of us have product. There have been a lot of great promotions in APO Go, and I can look behind me and see like 30 boxes of product. And the thing that I really am excited about is this is the very first time in 22 years that I actually love the way my product tastes. And so for me to share it, I share it with joy because I'm not mixing stuff. I'm not explaining all this complicated science and getting these doctors and all these calls. We don't do any of that. We have these delicious drops. They're very easy to explain. There are 15 different experiences, and we talk to people about them. So number one, in order to be successful, and this is something I really am passionate about, I want to train on, you need to understand if you're brand new in direct sales, you're very, very lucky because you occupy a very, very powerful position. We know about these. I won't go into them too much, but you see the picture of the globe here. And this is really important because I haven't talked about this a lot. We did a study many years ago, me and a couple of guys looking at global business. And we realized that 80% of the world can survive on $500 a month. So I really want you to think about that. Because if you're in the United States and you want to grow a business, we're an industrialized country. We can grow a business, and I've seen a lot of companies launch products that cost $100 a month, $200 a month, and people buy them. The problem is when you want to grow a global business, people around the globe can't afford them. So if you really look at all the things that we have going for us, our product certifications, category creating product line, our incredible compensation plan, your goal should be to grow a global business. And I'm going to tell you this, it doesn't matter who you know, it's who they know. So I want to really emphasize this. If you're on the call and saying, well, I don't know anybody in Japan or Korea, well, neither did I. But people that I knew in the US, I got to a guy that knew a bunch of people in Japan. And in my very first business, we had 1,700 people in Japan in 3 months because I just talked to people. And this is really important. You have to be able to talk to people. Now, there's different ways of doing that. I'm going to go over that with you in just a bit, but understand the importance of our price point and the fact that 80% of the world want better immune systems. They want energy, right? They want a very strong antioxidant. They don't want their bones and joints to ache and not be able to go to work every day. They want to be able to breathe better. We have products that are going to replace products that 100% of the world or 90% of the world are using at a really affordable price point. So my point is, you will meet people, if you don't already have contacts outside of the US, that have contacts, and you're going to actually be able to grow a global business because we have the price points and the product to do that. And that's really, really important to understand the power of that. Why do you want to do that? Here's why you want to do it. If I'm in Utah and I've got, let's say that Sarah, I'm lucky enough to have her on my team and she's an hour behind me. I know that when I go to bed, there's at least somebody working maybe an hour after I'm working. Does that make sense? If I've got somebody in New York and there's a 2-hour time difference, they're working on different time schedules, but my business continues to grow through those different time hours or different time zones. If you look at the global time zones all around the world, once you start launching a business and it starts jumping from continent to continent, why? Because we have a seamless global compensation plan, meaning the compensation plan is the same here as it is in Australia, as it is in UK, as it is in Eastern Europe and Western Europe, and so on and so forth. We have the platform to grow a very powerful global business. So moving on, I want to just talk about a couple of facts that I think are really important to understand. One is what I call the 94% rule. So I want to talk about this if you haven't heard it. If you've heard it before, bear with me because this is really important. 94% of all people on the planet in industrialized countries, it doesn't matter where you are, we are consumers. We are taught to purchase products, to go to school, to get an education, to find what we do, and to buy products. And we work that way. We get an education, we buy products. That's 94% of the population. 4% of the population are entrepreneurs. The problem that people run into when they're trying to start a business is they want to assume that 94% of the people out there are entrepreneurs when they are not. And one of the most frustrating things to do with any kind of direct sale business, when you're trying to grow a team, is to try and go out there and expect that the 94% will behave like the 4%, and they will not. And if you have that mindset, you're going to be disappointed over and over. And I'm going to tell you, my first 3 years, I bumbled my way into success. I made so many mistakes. I probably insulted a ton of people by saying the wrong things, by making the wrong assumptions. And I was like, I took things personally, right? Like people wouldn't sign up, I get mad at them, right? My first 2 months, I didn't want to talk to them anymore because I felt let down. But I learned that I had to understand human behavior. If you can understand how people think and how they react, then you can start understanding of how we can approach people and how we can have the mindset that it doesn't matter what the response is because we have to be unattached to the outcome. And I'll go over that in a little bit. But the 94% rule is this: 94% of all people are consumers. We cannot make them entrepreneurs. What we can do is teach them entrepreneurial skills. So if you're trying to convince people that they're going to start a business and they're going to be entrepreneurs and now they have to behave that way, you are fighting an uphill battle. It will not work. We need to teach them entrepreneurial skills by giving them a system that they can succeed in while they're working their JOB. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to pull people out of their jobs. I'm simply going to people who already have jobs, hopefully. And COVID's really interesting time, by the way, right? Because a lot of people are looking. But I'm really looking for people who are successful or want to be successful. And I'm introducing them entrepreneurial skills and a platform where they can succeed. Now, hunters and farmers, I know Travis talked about this in one of his presentations, but it's really important to know that there are two types of people out there when they get into building a team. There's hunters and farmers. Hunters are people who go out and they're really good recruiters. They can bring in people all day long because they know what points to hit. They know where people's weak points are, or not weak points, but vulnerabilities, or why people want to do things. They know what to tell people, and they're being honest. Let's just assume they're being honest. Hunters can gather people and recruit a lot of people, but hunters have a problem. They don't hold on to people for any period of time because they're only good at bringing people in. Farmers, on the other hand, may not be the best hunters, but they're really good at nurturing people. And what I find in this business, most men are hunters. Now, there are a few female hunters. Don't get me wrong. Sarah recruited a ton of people. She can hunt. The powerful thing about females, and I'm just being honest, that there are a lot of females that can both hunt and farm. If you can hunt and farm, meaning you can recruit, but you can also nurture people. And I think women have that natural ability to nurture their children, to help them to be patient. That's why 80% of network marketing and direct sales are women. And the women that can be hunters and farmers and develop both of these skills have a huge opportunity, a distinctive advantage. And I'm here to tell you, if you're neither hunter or farmer, you can be both. It can happen. You just got to be able to learn that skill set. So another thing to bring up, every time when you approach somebody, just remember, it takes 5 to 7 exposures of your product or opportunity or both before they'll sign up. So you have to be consistent in sending the materials. Now, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. We are launching Rapid Funnel, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit because I cannot ignore that. Rapid Funnel will make average people have incredibly unaverage results. We found a system that is so powerful that the average person who just take an hour to learn it, to click through everything, to look at everything, it's like handing you a Ferrari or a really powerful car for you to get in and drive that's got all kinds of features. And it is at your fingertips. So a lot of things I want to share with you tonight are really going to be backseated to the system that I'm going to talk about briefly and why it's so important. Now, let's talk about prospecting. So the fact of the matter is a lot of us are in the business, right? We've got product and we want to go out there, we want to share it with people. And a lot of people say, well, how do I talk to people? I might not be outspoken. In fact, I might be really shy, or maybe I'm not confident. And honestly, people like that are at a disadvantage. So I'm not going to lie to you or sugarcoat it. People who are really good, they're likable, they've got a great business reputation, they've got tons of people on their Rolodex, they have a distinct advantage. And so let's just understand that. How can we as other people, maybe we don't have a huge Rolodex, maybe we don't have a long track record. It doesn't matter when you have a system that works. If I had to choose between having 2 really great leaders to help me with Zoom calls or have a system that duplicates, I would choose a system any day over having 2 great leaders to do Zoom meetings every single night. Systems duplicate, people do not. This is really important to understand. If you want to have success, you've got to have systems that people not only can do, but they want to do. And I'm very convinced that the Rapid Funnel system is something that everybody will want to do when they understand how powerful it is. Why? Because it does the heavy lifting. I want to point out something that I missed a little bit earlier. When you look at successful couples in network marketing, have you ever gone on like top leader list and you're looking and you see all these successful couples? And you're like, man, what do they have? I'm going to tell you, one is the hunter and one is the farmer. Always. And if you find a picture of a single person just kicking it without a spouse, they are both hunters and farmers. So can you develop those skills? Absolutely. We can teach you how to hunt. We can teach you how to farm. And I can spend an hour or two doing that, but I'm going to sum it up by going over the rapid funnel system, because that system will make you a hunter and a farmer. And you know what? It's $1 for the first 30 days. I mean, come on, $1, right? And after 30 days, it's a whopping $19.95. I'm not here trying to sell it. I'm just here telling you everything that I've seen points to that system, and I'll get into it a little bit more. Now, how do we be effective at prospecting? There's a couple things I want to point out. You need to be likable. If people don't like you, they're not going to listen to you. If they don't listen to you, then you're going to have to do three-way calls, which is fine because you should do that anyway. But be likable. And if you're not likable, go work on yourself. I work with a lot of people that were stubborn. The hardest time I ever had with people were successful business people trying to bring them into this vertical of direct sales, because they tried to force their way into people's lives and tried to tell people what to do. You have to be likable, meaning you have to have a personality that people get along with and they like. And if they like you, they're going to listen to you. So again, if you're not likable, go ask your family, am I likable? Ask your upline, am I likable? They're going to be honest with you. If you're not, work on a couple of things. Start saying hi to people. Start having a cheerful attitude. Read books that inspire you. Read books about hope and business people who succeeded. Read their profiles and you'll understand what your potential is. Number two, be respectful. When I talk to people, I never tell people, oh, you're with that company, that's a dumb company. I never tell people that. Oh, you're using that product, that's a junky product. I never say that. The reason I never say that is I don't want to insult them, because they made a conscious decision to join a company 10 years ago or to use this product. Who am I to tell them it was a bad decision? Because the fact that I'm on the phone with them or doing a Zoom, everything worked out, right? So be careful of what you say to people. Don't be disrespectful to people. I always say, oh, you mean that $200 a month, that product that you guys took? Wow, what a great idea. And I'm so glad that a product like that came to market. How did it work for you? I'm always respectful of that. Be bold. This is something that it took me a long time to do. Why? Because I was always afraid to ask people what they thought. Oh, here's a video, but then I'd never do my follow-up, right? Because I didn't want to get rejected. Guys, you have to be attached to the process, but not to the outcome. This is really important. It took me a while to detach myself from the outcome. The way my demeanor is today is I really don't care if they're going to join me or not. And I do mean that in a respectful way, meaning that when I present something, when I expose the product or the opportunity, or I share my product testimonial, I drive them to our Go Live Facebook page with all the testimonials, and I add, tag, and message them. My follow-up is, what did you think? What questions might you have? Is there anything else that I can answer for you? And then if they have more interest, then I send them more products, more testimonials. I give them more exposures, but I'm bold. I do my follow-up. If you don't do your follow-up, they say the fortune's in the follow-up, you're not going to have success. So you've got to be bold. When you share products and opportunities with people, you've got to follow up and do not, again, be attached to the outcome. Because if you become attached to the outcome, you're going to go to bed depressed when people say no. And I'm going to tell you, it's hard collecting no's initially, but you get used to it. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, when I started my very first business in 2000, people told me no. 2 years later, man, I'm making money, having some success. And I look back at all those no's and how it made me tougher and stronger. And I took them, but I didn't take it on. So I hope that makes sense. Number 4, keep it short and simple. When I prospect, I don't vomit all over people. I keep it really, really simple. Hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's the results that we've been having. I'd like to send you something. What do you think? That's how I keep it, right? Really simple. And again, do not be attached to the outcome. Now, we're going to talk about personal testimonials. This is really, really important. And I've talked about this before. The most important thing you can have is a personal testimonial. So do you want to hear mine? I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to be really honest. I've been involved in network marketing for a long time. I've had a lot of highs and I've had very real lows because I'm a full-timer, okay? I don't have something to fall back on. I can't go back to the fire department, work 3 days a week and make the money and do this part-time. I am all in or I'm not in. And during that time, we've had some pretty bad lean Christmases where I'm like, kids, I'm sorry, we don't have a lot of presents this year. And they're difficult, right? Also, I've also learned that during the times of abundance, that things can go really, really well. And I'm able to share my testimonies with people, my before and after. So really briefly, I was the president of another company before I came into APL Go. And when I came in, I was making okay money. It wasn't great, but I had debt, right? I had debt. I didn't own my cars. I had credit card debt. I had one personal loan. I had just things that were like troubling me. It was a tough economy. In my first 6 months, and I'm going to share this with you guys because this is kind of things you share. I paid off every credit card that I had. I paid off both my cars. I bought 2 motorcycles. I paid off my personal loans. I have no debt today. And I had debt 6 months ago, right? So to me, this is a testimony that I can share with you all related to APL Go. Why? Because this company is amazing and because our comp plan pays. It's an amazing opportunity. When I share my personal testimonies about products, it's the same thing. My number one product is ice. Why? Because I have acid reflux. I've struggled with this for many, many years. But when I take 1 drop before bed, I don't have it. And so this is what I share with people. See how simple that was? Then I send them to different exposures. So moving on. Have you guys heard the story of Jack and the Beanstalk? This is one of my favorite stories. Jack basically, and I won't belabor the point to you, somebody sold him on this idea that he could buy these magic beans and that something really good would happen. He took it home to his mom. She about threw him out of the house. But the point that I'm trying to make is he had this dream. He had this idea that, man, I could do something different. I could invest my money instead of selling the cow to buy supplies for 2 months, right? I'm going to go invest in these beans because I have this dream. And in a way, it's a really beautiful thing, right? Even though he kind of was an idiot for doing it, but you see his passion to doing that. In my opinion, our products are like these magic beans, because if you get them out to people and you say, hey, I know you've been having trouble with digestion, just like you, I've had problems for the last 20 years. I found that when I take one of these a night, I don't have it anymore. And by the way, I've got a couple extra. Would you mind if I send you a couple, or at least send you to my website where you can make a purchase? The price is $50 retail, or if you want to become, Prime member, you can get it cheaper. That's how I communicate with people. But I love this story because Jack, just like so many people that I've known, were able to go out and take a chance on some magic beans and chase their dreams. And again, we are in a very, very good position. Now, people ask me all the time, Kauri, what do I lead with, product or opportunity? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Generally speaking, if they're under 40, I lead with product. Why? Because people under 40 think they're going to live forever. If they're under 40, I usually lead with the opportunity unless I know they have some kind of a condition where they can use my product. Now, APL goes a little bit different for me, and I'll tell you why. We have 15 different products that all act and behave the same way, but they're different. And my belief is that people under 40, there are a lot of them using some of these types of products. Energy, that's one of them. Strength is another one. Stopping pain. So APL goes a little bit different, but overall, through the years, I've always led with product with people under 40. Over 40, I lead with product. Under 40, I lead with opportunity. And that's always served me. If I know that people are looking for a business, or they're struggling financially, or they've been in the direct sales business before, I will usually lead with the opportunity. But if I don't know, right, I don't know enough about them, maybe I just met them, as a general rule, I will always lead with product, because product has a very powerful bond to it. Now, I had a friend doing an MLM where they sold electricity, right? He says, hey, I'm selling power. I didn't join. Why? Because I've never seen somebody in front of a room crying about how electricity changed their life. Does that make sense? Products do that. Other types of products, digital products, don't. So when you talk about products, if you want to grow a powerful organization, the most powerful organizations and companies I've ever been a part of are product-driven companies, because people have a bond to certain products, and they can make money or not. I'm just saying that depending on what they do or what they don't do. They're going to keep buying the product every single month because it changed their lives. Ask Sarah. She had an experience with PWR Women and a couple of other products, and it changed their lives. Will they ever go off the product? Probably not. Whether they're making money or not, they're probably never going to go off the product. So I really want to point out the importance of bonding with the product, and how a product-driven company is very, very powerful for us to be all a part of. Now, a couple of things. When I share products, I will typically do a first exposure, which is a call. It might be a message. And when I message people, I don't like to just text people. I like to leave an audio. And the reason why I leave an audio message on their phone is because they can feel my energy. So if I text Sarah and I say, hey, Sarah, I ran into this product. I took it. I got to tell you, I had some amazing results, but it's just a text. She can't hear me. She can't feel my passion. If I can attune her to my energy through a voice message, I have much more of a better chance of getting a reaction from her. So I want you to know, if you can Zoom people, great, Zoom them. If you can't, send an audio message. If you have to, just send a text message, do that. But make it a point to connect with them and tell them about your experience. Now, there's something that we have called social proof. Most of you know what this is. In the old days, right? I would get Kevin on the phone or Alicia on the phone if I was prospecting them. Because I knew them, I would always bring the third person on to do a three-way call, who's the expert. And that person would share opportunity or product or both, because they were the expert. Today, because of COVID, we can still get on the calls, but we have this amazing thing called add, tag, and message. So this is a screenshot of Go Life. If you look at it, Go Life is only product testimonial. So I hope that you guys are paying attention to this page. Why? Because as these testimonials roll in and you have people that you know with heart condition, with circulation problems, maybe their skin or their nails aren't as vibrant anymore, their hair is falling out, or they have joint issues. When you see these testimonials roll in, you can say to yourself, man, I made a list of all of my contacts, or I know people with these different conditions. This product would be really good for them. So what I've done is I actually have made a list of family members and associates that I know. And if I know they have a challenge with their health, I write it down and I look through the different testimonials coming in, and you can add, tag, and message them, meaning you can find a testimonial, you can write at their name in the comment, push enter, and it'll send them a notification through Facebook that they have a notification. They'll click it on and they'll go directly to the testimonial that might have the greatest impact with them. Does that make sense? So that is how we social message. I'm sure you guys have gone over this, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but there's something I really want to point out. In Go Life, there's a topic section. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. So if you look at this, like RLX, there's 13, at least 13 testimonials. If you click that on RLX, you can pull up the testimonials, SLD, BRN. You can go down the list and see more. Excuse me. I don't know why I did that, because I'm not live. Okay. But the point is that you can sharpshoot people with different testimonials by going to the popular topics and finding them and tagging them to them. It's really, really important to that. And here's the beautiful thing. If I'm coming into this page and I have digestive issues, but then I see these testimonials on heart, I see testimonials on breathing, on stopping pain with STP. Now my mind's thinking about all the people that I know that might have those issues. So we kind of cross-pollinate by bringing people, inviting them onto this page, having them read a testimony, having them browse. Very, very powerful thing to do. Very, very important thing to do. Now, I know time's running short and I don't like doing long training. So I'm going to kind of go into the Rapid Funnel app, and I'm going to tell you a really quick story that happened to me back in 2004. In 2004, the internet was around. We were using it, but I was mostly sending out these CDs to the mail, okay, the discs. So I was buying all these discs, right? And they're like a $1.50 a disc. I'd buy them, I'd send out 100 to all these different people, right? All my contacts. And I got really discouraged. because I realized that only 5% of the people who receive them were actually looking at them. So I'd be doing all my follow-up calls, right? Hey, did you watch that disc I sent you through the mail? And of course, most people would just totally ignore me. They wouldn't pick up the phone, or they would actually lie to me about watching the presentation. And one time I was so frustrated, I told this guy, I think his name was Chris. I said, Chris, tell me you liked it or not, but don't tell me you watched it when you didn't, because I know you didn't watch it. And I don't know how I got to that point of being so brutally honest with the prospect, but I did. I was so frustrated because I was wasting my time. And the thing that I noticed with building teams is that if you bring people into a team and they get a ton of no's, they're going to quit. So we don't ask yes and no questions. We basically say, can I send you more information? That's not a yes or no question. In the fact that I'm just sending them something to look at, most people are going to say yes, right? And I'm not putting my downline in a situation where they're going to get bombarded with no's. So what ended up happening is my wife and I had it out one night, okay? She was sick of hearing me complain about how the business sucked. And this was my first company. And I want to tell you, I hit the highest rank in that company. But it took me like 2 years to figure it out, right? I was asking my mentors, what do you do? And they're like, Kauri, what we want you to do is you're going to talk to 100 people and you're going to get 100 no's. And they're going to be okay with it. But guess what? I wasn't okay with it. It was killing my ego. I couldn't take it. So I had this real desire to do something different. And my wife said, you better figure something out because this is how our system works. So I had this friend that worked in the airline. I'm going to make this story really quick. He developed a software with all the airlines that if your plane was late, it would send you a text saying, here, flight's late, 30 minutes. And I had this idea. And I said, Dave, what if we create these videos and we put it into a player on my phone, and I could send people a video instead of sending a CD through the mail. And if they watch the presentation, I get an alert through my email telling me they watched the presentation. Wouldn't that be awesome? And Dave's like, yeah, dude, that would be awesome. And Dave was an IT guy, okay? So we developed in 2006 a platform that we launched, and I loaded 4 videos into a player, and we started sending videos out to people, right? And I wrote these 4 videos on Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. One was for self-employed people, one was for investors, one was for employees who are just employees, and the other was for business owners. So 4 different quadrants. I wrote a 2-minute video geared toward each of these different types of people on why they would join my business. And I started sharpshooting people. Bam, bam, bam. I'd ask them a question. What do you do for a living? I know, oh, this is the video for you, right? Over a period of time, I got with all the doctors in my company, and I had them each do a 2-minute video on each symptom: heart disease, kidneys, free radicals, the fatal 5, stroke. And they would do these videos and they'd attach a product or why our product worked. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys. We have that in Rapid Funnel. In fact, Rapid Funnel is a reiteration of what we did in 2006, except much more powerful. So I'm going to talk about the system really briefly. I'm going to tell you why it's powerful and why it's worth your time. Instead of listening to me ramble on all night about how to recruit, which I could, I really want to direct you to this system and why it's so important. Rapid Funnel now houses PDFs on all of our products, meaning that if you've got a friend that's got trouble with breathing, you can send that person, you can load them into the system and send them a PDF directly related to ALT. And soon you're going to be able to send them a video on ALT. You can sharpshoot people about things that they are passionate about and what they care about. And more importantly, you're going to know whether they watched that presentation or not. And here's what I love about that. I want to know who didn't watch my presentation. Why? Because I'm not going to waste my time collecting no's on people that I don't want to waste my time on. This makes you much more powerful, and it gives your downline, people on your team that you're bringing in, it gives them the ability to collect more yeses than nos, because I don't care what people say about collecting no's. I hate it. I want to be able to sharpshoot and use tools that work in a really specific way. Now, we've had a training on the app. It was last night. I actually slept through it because of jet lag. I woke up at like an hour late, but I watched it today. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. There's a thing called Verizon theory. I learned this years ago. Verizon theory is this. If you point to a tree off in the distance, we can see like 10 miles away, right? If we point to a tree and it's 3 miles away and I tell Sarah, walk to the tree, can you walk to the tree? She can say, yeah, I can walk to that tree, and she will walk to that tree. But what if she can't see the tree? And I say, there's a tree out there. It's that way, start walking towards it. Sarah's not going to walk more than a mile and she's going to quit. Why? Because she can't see the goal in sight. The rapid funnel system is a beautiful expression of making you hunters and farmers without having to learn the skill set of how to talk to people. The app allows you to share products and the opportunity with a push of a button. And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. My only warning to you is it's like giving you the keys to I don't know, I like Porsches more than Ferraris. Giving you the key to a powerful Porsche and letting you sit in it, but I'm going to warn you, do not burn through your list until you learn how that system works. Take the time to learn it and to do it right. Take the time to understand. There's something we call slow down to speed up. Download the app tonight if you haven't already and go through it and push all the buttons, look at all the trainings, build your list, find out who's got these health concerns, talk to them. Mike, I ran across some pretty cool technology. It's helped me with my acid reflux. By the way, I know that you've expressed concerns about your joints being sore. There's a really cool product that I think you're going to love. And there's also 2 other products. There's HRT and GRW. I like to do that. I like to cross-pollinate. Why? Because if I don't hit them with something that they're interested in right away, and I mentioned 2 other products, they might grab onto those products that you would never know about if I'd never mentioned them. Does that make sense? So I really try to cross-pollinate on how I reach out to people and do things. So guys, I kind of rambled a bit, and honestly, I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. My point at the end of the day is all the things I've talked about when you recruit, be respectful. We can be in a situation where I could tell you, yeah, just all the no's we're going to turn to yeses, but why go through that when you have Rapid Funnel just launched? It will make, again, it'll make all of you, including myself, it will do the heavy lifting for you. And I promise you, if you learn that system and you watch the content that we are putting into the libraries over the next 3 weeks, the short videos that we're going to be doing, the trainings, and you follow the system on what to send people when, and you don't load 100 people and start bombarding them from day one, you're going to be able to succeed. And I'm going to end with this. There's a story about simplicity that I like, about a person that I recruited back in 2003. Her name was Lisa. She wasn't an expert in the industry. She didn't have a track record of building successful home-based businesses. In fact, she was brand new. But Lisa hit the second to highest rank in a year and a half because she was coachable, because she was willing to put aside all of her stuff and just listen and follow directions. And she followed what was known in the day of how to recruit and how to be successful. And she hit the second to the highest level in a very short period of time. I'm here to tell you, you're in the right place. The Rapid Funnel system is the real deal. It is a powerful system that's simple to use. And I promise you, if you learn how to use it properly and you're respectful of people, right? You're courteous to people, you're likable, you're going to succeed in this business. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it back to you. I've already burned 45 minutes. Thanks, Sarah. I hope you guys enjoyed the training tonight.
Thank you so much, Kauri. I can't say thank you enough. I'm really, really excited. If you don't mind, I know that you went on a lot, but do you mind talking about the importance of getting to Vegas, in your opinion, for the event launch that's coming up?
Yeah, the reason why, and thanks for bringing that up. So our 2021 theme is Rise. It's about all of us rising up together. Convention is really important for a couple of reasons. One is You can't duplicate the energy at home or even on a live event that you can actually at convention. And I've seen convention over the last 15 or 20 years take people and really change their mindset and put them on a path to success much faster. During the convention, you're going to hear from a lot of guest speakers who are experts in their different fields. To me, that's great. I love the motivation, but in the long run, for me, it's not about motivation. It's about systems. We're going to be drilling the rapid funnel system. By then, we're going to have much more content, and we're going to have experts be able to go on stage and show you their results by simply pushing a button, inviting somebody, and pushing send. And then step 2, rinse and repeat. To me, that's the most important reason to get to convention. Now, Sergey's going to be there. So for a lot of you, you're going to be able to meet him for the very first time. You're going to see how much he likes people, but you're going to be able to connect with your leaders, with your organization as well. So I'm really looking forward to it, Sarah. And I hope that you guys are as well. Tickets are on sale right now. We sent the link out, and here's something that's not public yet. With your ticket purchase, you're going to get $30 worth of free product at convention. So what if it's like 149, it's like 119, right? Because you're going to get free product. So we haven't announced that promotion, but we're going to include that. And here's another thing, Sarah, no other companies are doing convention right now. And I actually told Sergey, I'm like, okay, we can do the convention, but just know that we're in some really testy waters. And Sergey said, I don't care. We're going to move forward. We make things happen. I don't care if I've got 50 or 500 or 1,500 people. We're going to do the absolute very best convention that we can. So please plan on it. There's an early bird special right now. I believe it's 149. Is it 149?
It
I
is.
got my tickets today for Jenny and I. We're coming. We made our reservations. $39 for a weeknight at the Paris Hotel. If you've been there before, it's absolutely beautiful. Weekend rates are $99, so they're really good rates. And look, there's always fun things to do at Vegas, even when some things are closed down. So I encourage all of you guys to come.
And I do want to say, when you go in to get your hotels, it's not like you have to put a code in if you're using the website. Go in, book your room, hit continue. And when you get to the checkout, it's going to drop your room rates down to what they've got it down to. So it will show 59 and like 139. And then when you get it into the cart, it's going to drop down to 39 during the weekday. And then on the weekend, 99 a night. So they've got, I can't believe how cheap they've gotten the tickets down to. They're running out a lot of space to make sure that we're within the guidelines. I'm really excited to see everybody there and to give lots of hugs and say hello to a lot of faces that I've come to know over the last few months. Kauri, thank you so much for coming on tonight and training. I can't wait to go on the next trip and the cruise in November, and just APL Go is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get to see a lot of the world here. So if anybody wants to unmute themselves, we're going to wrap up. So feel free.
I just had a real quick question. I did get my ticket today, but I didn't see where to get the hotel.
You cut out.
I got my ticket today, but it didn't give me an option for the hotel. Where do I find that?
I had to, on my phone, when I went on my phone, it actually only gave me the option to buy tickets. I had to go on my computer and start playing around. And at the bottom, underneath featured speakers and everything, there was hotel stuff.
So if I already checked out, am I up a creek?
Here, I think I had, no, yeah, you go to the aplgorise.com, and when you scroll here, I'm on it. I'll just screen share real quick.
Yeah, there's a link right there on the sales page. Kauri, how many mosquito bites did you get?
I got 2, and we had mosquito netting. It's decorative, but to actually have to use it was kind of cool. But I'm so excited for you guys to be on board. I know they went to Bali last year and they almost drowned in these boats with high surf. But Sergey's very adventurous, and hang on.
Wait, Kauri, you just said you're excited to get us to a place where people almost drowned.
Do not. Just rewind. He's jet lagged, everybody.
Don't record that part, Sarah.
Oh my God.
I love it. It's so funny. We get to step out of our comfort zone, I guess. So here's the main landing page when you go on, Kelly. And as you scroll down, it tells you there's buy tickets. When you keep going under featured speakers, there's everybody right there. You keep going, and there's book now, and it will redirect you in. And
Got
then,
it.
yeah, it will be there, and you can go, and I have to accept cookies, but that's pretty much where you go. So I'll stop screen sharing there. So does anybody else have any questions, or we can wrap it up and say good night? I'm really excited for everybody to join us. So I
Hey,
think,
Sarah, I just wanted to add something real quickly.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say how blessed this group is to have you guys as leadership. Alicia, you, Kelly, Tim, all you guys are doing such an amazing job leading out front. So thank you very much for your leadership.
thank you.
I also want to say, Kauri, great training tonight. And I just want to edify Kauri for a minute and let you guys know that he's not one of those leaders that just comes on and says one thing and he doesn't really do what he says he's going to do. When he reached out to Summer and I, you guys, we weren't at all like looking for another opportunity at all. The first time that we spoke, nobody else would have probably stopped after that first conversation. I think I even told you, Kauri, if I recall, I said, yeah, we're not really looking, not really open. And I kind of shut the door, but he was persistent with us and called back again. I think it was a week or so later. And I guess I left the door maybe just slightly open in that first conversation. I thought that I had closed it, but Kauri's my friend. I've known him for a long time. I respect him. We worked together at another company 10 years ago. And so, naturally I took his call, but he was very persistent and he just got me he got me to agree to at least look at the presentation. He just said, look, I know that you're not really looking and you've got something else going on, but would you be willing to at least just see it? Would you just take a look at it? And my thought was, what's the harm in taking a look? And I share that with you because that opened the door a little bit more. And then he said, gosh, would you just be willing to meet the owner? And I said, well, yeah, what harm could that do? And so I share this with you because anybody else would have not been persistent. And through him and his efforts, we're all here today. So I want to express my gratitude to his persistence and let you know that the most crucial part of this business is that follow-up process. And until somebody tells you no, they haven't really said they're not willing to do it. And a lot of times we get people that don't give us an answer and we just assume it's a no because they're not jumping in today. But no just means no right now. And for us, it was a process. I think, Kauri, what did it take? About a month maybe of going through and kind of back and forth and chatting a little bit. But it was his persistence that really paid off in Summer and I coming in board. Not just that, but my respect level for who he is. And that was important to me too. But I just really wanted to share that because as he was training tonight, I just kept thinking about our conversations and that's really led to, a wonderful thing for all of us. So thank you, Kauri.
Travis, yeah, thanks so much. And I would like to add one thing. You and Summer came to my mind 2 weeks and I couldn't get you guys out of my mind. And I've just known over the years that when the thought doesn't leave me, that's what I'm supposed to do. And I had almost no doubt in my mind that you guys would come in at some point. But I really felt like, and I do want to edify Summer and Travis a bit because I really felt like they were supposed to be the face of this company. And I even said that. I don't know why I normally don't say stuff like that as a recruiting thing, but I just felt that way. So thank you for listening. And I remember Summer whispering in your ear during the presentation, and I was so hopeful that it was good things. But you've done a lot of amazing things, Travis and Summer, and Sarah and Alicia. I mean, top first 5 people that came in. So I have a lot of gratitude to you guys. So thanks for that.
Thank you so much. I just love what we have going on here. I feel like we're all one big happy family, and it just feels like we're home. It feels like we're here to create a legacy and work really hard for the next couple of years to change a lot of lives. And then we're going to be able to maintain our business and pretty much retire very, very early on in that life. And we're going to do it feeling really good because we have a product that, I mean, just look at what it's doing for people's health, mine included. So I think what a better way to leave off Monday night. We all have to keep the momentum going. I've learned the hard way that when you take your foot off the gas, it's harder to push it back down. So you guys, I
Sarah,
think,
can I add one more thing before you say
yeah,
goodbye?
absolutely.
Kari, do you think it's okay that I let them know that we're working on a promotion for the event tickets right now, that the details will be coming out? But do you mind if I share that a little bit?
It's a great idea.
Okay, so we're working on a promo right now that would allow people to qualify for an event ticket or a second event ticket with volume. You know, you're gonna have to work for it. It's not gonna be given to you. And whether the company does it or Kari and I do it, we're gonna do it. So we're gonna finalize those details, and you can look for those details to be released, I'd say the next 24 hours. But for somebody that maybe just can't afford it, just know that if you put your pedal to the metal right now and start getting that app in people's hands and doing the work, there will be an opportunity for you to earn an event ticket. We're going to keep it simple. It's going to be based on new enrollment. Oh, I see Garth laughing there. We're going to do it on just new enrollment volume, and it'll be, you know, X amount of volume earns one ticket, amount of volume earns two tickets. We're probably looking somewhere right at around maybe 2,500 in volume would earn you a ticket, maybe doubling that for two tickets. But we're going to create that opportunity. Dates and stuff, we're still looking at it. We'll finalize it in the morning, but I want you guys to know that that will be available as well.
Awesome. I'm excited. Thanks for giving us the sneak peek. And then I'm assuming we have training on Wednesday at 5 Pacific as we're all on the same team. And I think we can just all go out and start screaming even louder from the top of the mountains because we've got about less than 50 days before we're all in Vegas, you guys.
Woohoo!
Feel free to unmute yourselves. I'm going to stop recording right now if you want.